They say love makes you blind. I used to think that was just an excuse for bad decisions until I met Lila. It was a rainy Thursday when I ducked into a bookstore and saw her red coat, absorbed in a novel, as if time didn't matter. She looked up and smiled, and that moment changed everything. She was smart, witty, magnetic. She liked stories about obsession and darkness, said so with a casual laugh. Within weeks, we were inseparable. She moved in less than a month later. It felt fast, but I was happy. When you're happy, you don't ask questions. At first, everything was wonderful. She filled the apartment with art, strange, intense portraits of twisted faces and haunting eyes. I didn't understand them, but I admired her passion. Then things began to shift. My dad's old watch vanished. Then cash from my wallet. A necklace that belonged to my mother. Each time I asked, she calmly offered an excuse: "You probably misplaced it, or I moved it when I cleaned." One day, searching for batteries, I opened her drawer and found a Polaroid of me sleeping. Taken from above. I didn't own a Polaroid camera. When I asked, she smiled. "You looked so peaceful. Like a helpless little deer." That should have scared me. But I told myself it was just quirky. A few nights later, I woke to see her standing beside the bed, staring at me. I asked what she was doing. "I thought you stopped breathing," she said. Her face didn't match her tone. I started hearing things, footsteps at night, her voice muttering in another room. Once, I caught her sketching me while I napped on the couch. I pretended not to notice. Eventually, I set up motion-activated cameras in the living room and bedroom. For 3 nights, nothing happened. The 4th night, around 2 a.m., the bedroom door opened slowly. She walked in, holding something. The video was grainy, but it looked like a knife. She stood at the foot of the bed, watching. For 25 minutes. Then she left. I went to the police. That's when everything unraveled. The woman I knew wasn't Lila. The real Lila had died 5 years earlier. Her body had been found in a river. Dental records confirmed it. The woman I had been living with was Elise Monroe, an escapee from a psychiatric hospital. She had a history of impersonating women who had recently died, slipping into lives she didn't belong to. Until now, she'd never been caught. Elise was arrested. For a while, I let myself believe it was over. I started trying to rebuild my life. But something always felt off, like she was still there, just beyond reach. One afternoon, I came home and instantly knew something was wrong. The apartment was spotless. Unnaturally clean. The clutter that made it feel like home was gone. On the coffee table was an envelope. No return address. Just my name. Inside were dozens of photos. All of me, sleeping. Some were old. Some were recent. In nearly every one, Elise was there too. Sitting beside me. Behind me. Her hand hovering near my face like a predator savoring the moment. The last photo, taken from outside the kitchen window, had a note scribbled on the back: "You are my greatest masterpiece." I couldn't breathe. But the final image was worse. It was me, asleep in bed. Elise beside me. Her hand resting gently on my chest. Smiling. Written in ink at the corner: "You'll never be alone again." That was when my phone buzzed. Breaking news: Elise Monroe escapes from maximum security prison. I froze. A blurry image showed her grinning, wild-eyed and dangerous. Authorities warned she was armed. But I didn't need the warning. I knew. She was out there. I grabbed my coat and ran. Locked the door behind me. But even in the hallway, I felt her presence, like something just out of sight. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. I turned. No one. At the far end, the hallway door creaked open. Empty. I wanted to call the police. But what would I say? That the ghost of a woman who stole a life was still haunting mine? I stepped into the elevator, heart pounding. Was she watching me now? In the building? Behind one of those doors? As the elevator doors closed, something shifted in the air. A whisper. So soft I almost didn't hear it. "You can't hide forever." The elevator jolted. The doors sealed shut. And I was alone. Or maybe I wasn't.